Good evening. Good evening. This is Thomas together with some Preeti, and we're waiting for some other people. And this is just a mini meeting for the Project Unify team. Just a progress report from my side. So we've merged in some pull requests since last time. Hello, Niklas. How's it going? You okay? Let's do a sound check if you say something. I hear some background noise, but no voice yet. Yeah. Well, anyway.
Hi, guys.
Oh, there you go. There you go. How's it going? Cool. So just a quick report on my side. We've merged in some pull requests since last meeting, and basically we have one outstanding or two outstanding pull requests right now. One about tagging users with skills, and another one about the authentication library that we are going to use, device. So Smago's been working on that. The tests are failing on this one for the moment, but hopefully he will change that, and I offered some help, so I will be helping him out with this pull request. But okay, among the ones that we have merged in, so what have we done? Well, we've added a user model. We added the API endpoint to showing index of users. We enabled cores in this application so that the mobile application can talk to it. We have a documentation library that sparked a long debate, but now we have a API documentation library. So this one about the removing of HTTP parties, about just cleaning out some code that was redundant, and
Thomas,
this one that's been closed. Yeah.
Are you on the Pivotal Tracker website or on the Hangouts?
So I'm sharing my screen. Do you guys see my screen now?
It's stuck with some strange stuff for me. I don't know.
Right.
It's the Hangout screen with like infinite windows. I thought you were checking the Pivotal Tracker or something.
Let me just reshare that. Oh man, I see that now. So let's do it. So now it's me, and now it's the entire screen. So now you should see the GitHub.
Yep.
Yeah, now it.
Okay, sorry about this, guys. Let me just. Okay. So I need to be okay. So anyway, so I would like to just jump over to the. So this is the site the way it looks right now. Hopefully we just wake it up. I'm going to just wake it up. So this is the administrative interface. Mm-hmm. Basically, we can list users. We can create users like this. Nothing fancy yet, but we can filter by name, right? Mm-hmm. So I can do Thomas. Let's just filter, and there's some pagination built in, I think, from the scratch. So this is the way that looks. But on the API documentation part, this is the way it looks now. So we have a special route for that, and you can basically click everything and get some documentation, supported formats, examples of output, and we can add stuff here. This is just scaffolded for simple. Just as an example, basically. Yeah. So that's the way that looks, and also, so we have no authorization on the API endpoint yet, so I can do API v1 and ping, and that responds Pong, of course. But if I do v1 and go for users, then we get a JSON response showing Thomas, Tony, and the one I just added, some Preeti here, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have an endpoint to show just that particular resource. If I put in the ID of the resource, we're just returning that particular resource, basically, in JSON. So it's, it's nothing fancy to start with, but let me just show you another little thing that I developed today. Let's see, where is that? That's here. So if I start a Rails server, so I have an open pull request now with adding skills to users, right? So let's see, this is the way that looks. Let's go to localhost 3000, and so now we can, on this branch I've added yeah, so what we can do, we can add some pretty here again. It's against my local database, and then I can say, I have autocomplete on those tags, right? So, or you can choose management, agile, and stuff like that, right? So we can create that user, and then if we go to skills, we can see here that we have 5 users tagged with test, and 3 users with management and stuff like that. So we can basically use that to connect people, to match them a little somehow. So this is like the very beginning of matching.
Yeah, cool.
Currently, can you find the people with a skill? Or?
Yeah, let me show you that. So if I just show you, I've already done that basically. So let's see, where is that? Unify by skill. That's the name of the branch. So sorry. So I do git CO, and so in my tests here, let me just put that open. So basically, if we start here at line 36, so this is the block that I want you guys to focus on, right? So we create 3 users, 1 Thomas, Anders, and Kalle, and then we set the skills list to JavaScript testing and Ruby for Thomas, and we set JavaScript, Java, and HTML for Anders, and then we set Java and HTML for Kalle, right? So basically, if I do user1 Unify, then I should get an array that contains Anders, right? But I should not get Kalle because he's not tagged with JavaScript. So the common skill for Thomas and Anders, user1 and user2, is the JavaScript tag, right? So that returns it. And on the model level, this is just a very simple method because we're getting that straight out of the box from act as taggable, that gem that we're using, and that is find related skills, basically. So when I run that, that will return return the right users. So let's just set a little bit of let's say bounding pry. I have no interface for this yet, but just a test, right? So let me just run it. Spec model user spec. What is it? 436. 36. Let's see. Do you see my terminal clearly?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Okay, so let's say what is user1? User1 is Thomas, right? So if I do user1.unify, I get an array with Anders, right? That's basically it. So if I would say user4 equals user.create user name some pretty. Sorry for using your name all the time, but user4 skill.
Does this match all the skills, or like any skills?
It matches all the skills. So let's say we're gonna add Ruby for you, okay? And see what that returns. Ruby. So we're adding, and then user for save. So user for skills. Yes. Okay. So now if I do user1 Unify, I'm getting both Anders because we have JavaScript together, and I'm getting Sampriti because we have Ruby together. All right?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So on this Unify method on the user model, I'm thinking that we could later on when we have the geocoding done, so we can first find every user in the same geographical area, like the same city or something, and then we could just filter them by skills, and that would be a cool thing to do, I think, at least. So and also if we start the local server again for a second, and we go over to users, from the administrative interface, we can, I can filter by the skill list as well. So I just filter away everybody.
Yeah.
So I can, so
a nice small feature would be to just have on the skills page. If you click on a skill, it should take you to the filters list.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that definitely. It's just a matter of connecting those two views to each other. So yeah, but that's the way it looks now. So the thing is that I'm learning how to do this in Godmin, that administrative interface. So you see, I know how to change those navigation items, but we have to override some out of the box functionality in terms of what the column names and stuff like that. So, but everything is up for change. You can monkey patch the entire functionality basically. So it's pretty cool.
It's nice.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, just even though this is just for the admins, I'm thinking about placing the logo, the Project Unify logo here someplace, and and stuff like that. And also, so these skills should be available on the API with an API endpoint and stuff like that. But I haven't, we're doing one feature at a time basically. So
yeah, of course.
It's not a big. Do we have anybody else with us? How many are we right now? It's just 3 of us. Okay, so I have a few small stories I would like us to vote on.
By the way, I was wondering, is anyone assigned to the add user authentication endpoint to the API story?
Yeah, so Zmago is working on that. So he submitted this pull request about adding device to the user model right now. So we have some failing tests because he hadn't updated the Cucumber steps basically. But then he will be working, and I think he has a solution in place already, but he just hasn't, hasn't finished that PR yet about the user authentication endpoint. And so the problem is that I spiked a solution up, but I was running into some issues because the Godmin authentication was kicking in when we tried to authenticate the application users, basically. So it was a bit of a conflict between those two. But we have he has a solution in place. But were you interested in working on that, or?
Yeah, I was a bit interested in working on that, and I'm also facing a bit of trouble with working with Node.js on the bootbot thing. I need someone who's experienced in all that. I mean, it's a bit difficult to work with the asynchronous thing that JavaScript and Node has. So yeah, so I thought I wanted to pair on that with someone maybe, and I also wanted to work on this. So that's. But I guess I'll work on some other story if Zmago.
Yeah, but feel free to reach out to Zmago and try to work with him on that, because I know he he's tight in time, and he'd love to get some help. I mean, if there's anything he would like to do at the moment, it's like we have some failing tests on this pull request. So I extended some I gave him an offer about help this afternoon. But if you would like, you can grab this and make this pass, for instance. This is just a fix-up, but if you do that, you can, that would be a natural way to connect with Mago and start working on this, both this user authentication endpoint and the OAuth, the Facebook and Google login, basically,
I guess I'll fix this and send the pull request to him tomorrow.
All right. So, but what I would like us to do is to actually vote on this OAuth login story. So this one is about, given we already have an authentication method in place, just to extend that authentication method with Facebook and Google logins, basically. And perhaps, Nicholas, you feel a little bit unsure whether you should,
I don't know if it's any meaning that I vote on this one.
But we actually, according to our rules, you have to vote on this. Because,
okay.
Because we need to be 3 at least when we vote and stuff. Yeah. So just pretend that you're a Ruby developer, basically, and if you knew how to do that, and given that there is all the device methods are already in place, and we have a working solution with authenticating users through a post request to the API, and now we're just talking about extending that method with Facebook and Google, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So yes, let me set that up, and so let's say voting on OAuth and voting. Okay, so whenever you guys feel ready, we can assign some points to that. So
this includes tests as well, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we have to stub the stuff out or use either fixtures or VCR or something, right?
Yeah.
I guess. We should add that to the story, actually. But yeah, absolutely. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, go. Niklas, you have to vote.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right.
I'm on my smartphone now, so I have to switch between the apps.
Okay. That's good. So,
in my opinion, it's like 1 point or 1.5 points for implementation, and maybe 2 or 1.5 points for testing.
Exactly. I know that. So that's why I gave it a 3 as well. So good stuff, guys. So let's see. Add project Unify logo to Godmin Nav. Let's vote on that as well. That's so in my opinion, this is a pure UI story, basically. Okay. Any clarification, or can we vote?
Yep, we can vote.
We can vote. Let's go. Yes. So first of all, I need to set that to 3, and then we just set that to 1. Good stuff. What else? Set up Swagger for PU API. We're gonna move this to Icebox because we're not implementing that. Spoken languages on user profile. So the user story as a user, so others can see what language they speak. I want to be able to set spoken languages. Okay, so 2 people requested this, both Gail and Zmago. I'm not entirely convinced that this should be prioritized, but I'm not against this in any way. Any thoughts on that, Niklas and Sampriti?
Well, I mean, the feature is like, I mean, it's not, it's important, I guess, but the priority, I'm not sure how important it is right now.
Okay. Nicholas?
No, but it could be useful, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be there in any way. So
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is very similar to the skills, I guess.
Yes. So I'm thinking about the way to implement this. So either we just set like a one-to-many relationship, which is an overkill, or we can use the skills act as taggable on, because we can actually have many lists on the user, you know. So I would say that. So the reason why I would like us to vote on this and put it in the backlog is because this is a fairly simple feature. So any new members could grab that one and work on it, just to get to know the code base. And as you say, Nicholas, it's going to be useful anyway. So
yeah.
But the question here is, so if and that will be a deal breaker on the active taggable on, if we should say that the level of knowledge. So Swedish I can read but I cannot speak, or English fluent, or just you know what I mean. It's like. How do you feel about that, Sampriti?
Not really sure. I mean, I guess that would be an important factor, but I mean, when you add a spoken language, like the thing is to have the spoken languages, right? So when you're adding there, you think like if you can speak properly in a language, that would mean like you can read and write properly.
Yeah. So you know what, guys? Let's do this. So without skill, skill level, just what language you can understand. So in this iteration, if we want this level, we can talk to the client about this and see if this is necessary.
Oh yeah.
I would say that in the first iteration, we can do without the skill level, and which basically means that we can use act as taggable on. But the problem is that the client comes back and says, yeah, but we need skill level attached to the language, then we're going to have to back down from this solution, because there is no way. So let's or should we postpone this? Basically, if we have the client in a meeting on Thursday, because perhaps we can talk to them. Yeah. So let's just put this.
Shouldn't that be a comment instead of a task? That's just like.
Well, good point. Good point. Let's do it. Comment. Yes. Okay, so let's pick something else to vote on. Yes, about this. Add a mentor to user. Okay, so I would like to have an attribute saying mentor true or false on the user model, because we will be dealing with mentors and mentorees, right?
Yeah.
So I want to be able to basically filter out here on users. I would like to be able to filter out.
Who's a mentor and who's a mentoree?
Hold on a second, guys. Ja, absolut, jag kan gå upp. Men jag ville sitta här nere bara för att jag inte håller på så länge idag.
Jaha, men för att jag...
Yes, I'm being thrown out. I need to go upstairs. Sorry. Yes, so we have to be able to filter who's a mentor and who's a mentoree.
Yeah.
Okay, so from a technical perspective, this is not a biggie, I guess. We're just gonna add an attribute to the user model. However, we're gonna have to add a filter or a scope and the test for that, and also update the Godwin interface. Okay?
Yeah.
Does this include the matching part, like a user has a mentor and a mentor has many users or something like that?
No, not this story. It's a good story. I would like you to write that up in Pivotal, actually. But because we haven't decided upon that relationship yet, who's following who, or who's mentoring who. But it's a very good story. But this is just about scope on the user model,
Like
and display it in the Godwin.
I read the second line in the description that said in order to be able to match applications, so I thought, yeah, maybe that included that.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely, I get your point. So it's a little ambiguously put, but in the future, to be able to match in the future, kind of, but yeah, I would say that it's not about implementing that matching functionality yet, but I just want to distinguish who is the mentor and who's the mentoree. All right. Cool. So let me just prepare that. Cool. This is also this is a beginner story. So if we have new members, this is a good one to start with, I guess. Because it's the way this application is built up. It's actually non-trivial because you actually have to change the Godwin interface basically, and make it viewable.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, vote. Yes. Sorry. All right. So let's put that down for. Shit. Where is that? Yes, 2. Yes, here comes the matching basically. Although I'm a little ambiguous about this. So we want to have a button like match me or something, but I'm not sure that this is a back-end story or if this is a front-end story, So to implement this in the back-end is not very hard, but I would say we can make this matching, endpoint. If we do this,
Can you
then this could.
explain again what the story does? I couldn't understand the purpose.
Yeah, so the Unify is the matching itself,
So
it's the,
what
yes,
will the
but
user do?
so that's the question that we need to discuss. So whether in the back end, so users won't have access to the back end, but they will use the mobile application, right? So in terms of the user interface on the smartphone, we want to have a button, when you're logged in, saying, match me or unify me or whatever, and then you should get a pop-up saying that, yeah, this person is a good match for you, and stuff like that. But from our perspective right now, when we work with the back end, we want that method that I just showed you. It's a spike, right? I was just testing stuff. So we want the method on the user model, and we want an endpoint on the API, so that the mobile application can, when that button is pressed, right? So that will make a GET request or a POST request to the API and get some sort of JSON response back. So I would say that at this stage, this story should be about implementing that functionality in the back end to respond with a list of users that you are being matched to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we should tag this with API, and I would, it's a sort of, to be able to match users. I would like to have a matching method in place and be able to see a list, a JSON response of potential users to connect with, or something like that. So this would be an API, story only, and then we could write something up for the guys that will be working with the mobile application. I think Tony and Gail is taking a lead on that a little bit, and hopefully Sapriti will go into that, So does this make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and half the job is already done. I have but so now I can push that branch up to GitHub, and somebody could take on and then actually build the JBuilder views and then respond to that request, I would say. But let's have a quick vote on that. We need to get this voting system in place. I'm pretty.
Yeah, I like it's. I mean, when I code, it's like I have this problem that I just can't ever write anything that looks ugly. So that is what's been holding me back for like around 5 hours today. Because if I try to write it using the asynchronous thing with callbacks and everything, it becomes a mess, and I just can't start that.
You're too ambitious. Let's. It's better to spike something up, than. But anyway, I get your point. Yes. So, yes. Any more clarification? No. We're ready to vote.
Sure.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Yes. Is it okay if we set it to 2, Niklas?
Yeah, of course.
Without any long debates at this point.
No.
Cool. So, Unify and mentor to user, that's good. Spoken languages, let's move that down a little bit. Yes, code coverage. That's more of a chore rather than a feature, right? So we're not going to do this. Sampriti, do you have access to Agile Ventures coveralls?
I'm pretty sure I don't have that. I don't really remember. I need to check.
I think you're an admin on Agile. Well, I haven't set that up in ages, basically. Would you care to have a look at this?
Yeah, I'll have a look at this, but I'll see if I need any permissions. I'll ask.
Yes, I can give you permission probably. So we're gonna set you to this. If this, yeah. Okay. And you press start whenever you want. Good. That should be it. So add tagging endpoint to API. I will work on that. This is something for me. The project Unify, good. User authentication, Smago, and Sampriti. Reach out to Smago. It's a good guy, So.
Yeah. And like, has there any work been started on the mobile app or anything like that?
Well, the problem there, what was it? They said something in the channel. So Tony was involved in that, and Gail, and who else? Shalini, yes. But I haven't seen a pull request on that yet, and there seems to be some debate what sort of a scaffold they should use or something, and I was hoping that some of them would be in this meeting because I have some input on the testing.
So
I just stumbled upon this.
Ionic? Can you give me a TLDR or something?
Oh, okay. So Ionic is a framework built on AngularJS, basically to build the hybrid mobile applications. So you develop once and you can deploy on Android and iOS and Windows Phone, etc., etc. So you can make use of the native functionality of a mobile device by using most of the PhoneGap and Cordova extensions, and libraries. So it's pretty cool. I've built 2 applications with Ionic, and it's basically JavaScript and HTML development.
So where's the Angular?
With some extra. Well, everything you and all the JS that you write in an Ionic application is written in Angular.
Oh, right. So it follows that framework kind of thing, right?
Yes, it's the controllers and and everything basically. Yeah. So I used Karma and Jasmine to test my Ionic applications, but I know that Protractor is a tool that a lot of people use. So I think that Tony was about to find. I mean, he was hoping to find something that would give him everything, like a scaffold and also the testing frameworks and stuff like that. But I don't think it's that easy. I think you need to manually set that up the way we kind of do in Rails. You know, you set up the Rails application and you add your dependencies and you fine tune everything before you get it to work. But there, I mean, Jasmine is good for testing JavaScript and let's see. Some people here are making a case for Jasmine, Protractor, Karma, Angular mocks to mock out the methods and stuff. So I would like us to perhaps share that with the guys somehow.
And on this tomorrow.
Let's see, scaffold, please. Yeah, the discussion here is fairly long already. So, oh shit. Yeah. Please review about testing. Yeah. Okay. But you were interested in working with the front end stuff. I mean, with the mobile application.
Well, I'll definitely
right?
look into it because I've never done anything like anything mobile. So this looks like the easiest opportunity for me to get into it because I can't do iOS development and I really don't like Java for Android. So.
Okay. So and you know, as the only request I have is I'd love to have you on that team because I you know, we've worked so many times together and I have complete trust in you, and I know that you will do this, perhaps not, if not the TDD way, but at least have a good test coverage of everything, and you know, it is pretty tough to test Angular apps with the promises and, you know, with especially the Ajax and, you know, the API calls, right? So, but that's why I feel it's very important for us to have the API documentation there, because if you do this, you want to see what sort of response you can get while testing the mobile application. You can just grab this JSON and save it in a fixture. You know what I mean? And test it that way. So these examples here on our side, on the backend side, are very important for for the development of the mobile app as well, because we don't want you to make those calls in the test environment, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but so definitely, I'd sign you up. I can add you to that story. About scaffolding, and if you come up with some stuff that needs to be done, like, you know, set up the test environment and I can only add 3 follow owners, I think.
Yeah, it's fine. No need to make it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
follow the story then. But so you know, so I would definitely use Jasmine and Karma. And if Protractor, it's an acceptance test framework, if it brings something to the table, definitely use that as well. Okay? Cool. All right. I think that should be it for now. Not much else to cover. Mm-hmm. Unless you guys have anything.
No. I will talk to the Unify team tomorrow. Mm-hmm. See if someone can join us on Thursday. So, mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had a brief chat with Amanda, I think.
Okay.
Her name yesterday over Facebook. Mm. They are about to do some sort of a presentation.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
There's a pitch tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. What time is that?
I don't know.
I was thinking I should go over and have a look. You know, I'm a little curious.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah.
We can check it out. I will talk to Amanda tonight too. I'm going to send her a logo, so I can ask her about the time.
Yeah. So I sent her the Craft Academy and the Agile Ventures logo, mm-hmm. and it's good that you have that as well. And I also sent her some small text, pitching what is Agile Ventures and what is Craft Academy, because she's going to do some handouts and stand in like on a monter or something. So definitely get some about your company as well. So get a little bit of marketing, you know.
Yes, of course. That's cool.
Cool, guys.
Thomas, do you have like 30 seconds right now?
Yeah.
Just share your screen.
Yes.
And I pasted a link in the group chat. Just click on that.
Yes.
And
Where are we? Project. Oh, I have to refresh. Right?
I need to go, guys. So see you at breakfast tomorrow, Thomas.
Yes, cool. You do. All right, talk to you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go. So I had both of them, right?
Yeah, for now, I guess. Yeah, so if you click on them, I think go to the details part. I think we should have something there for the latest bid or something.
But
we need to add we need to add a coverage token and all that. Yeah, I forgot about it.
Yeah, but also there's something special in let's see, on Semaphore. I know that on Agile Ventures, let's see, on website 1, I mean, we had to do something. Yes, cover all repo token. You see this? I had to add that to bundle exec rake. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing basically here.
Yep, but I think we need to install a gem and all that, I guess.
Yeah. But so if you take care of just can you install that and create a pull request on that? And I'm
not
right. Okay, never. Let's see if I have time. I'll do it. Otherwise, you can do it tomorrow. Okay.
It's like 2 a.m. and I can't do anything else.
Oh yes, I keep forgetting that. For God's sake, absolutely. Yes. No problemos. I could go to bed. I fix that. You shouldn't be staying up so late, anyways.
It's holidays. I don't care. I'll wake up at 10 a.m. or something.
There you go. That's good. All right. I talk to you tomorrow. I take care of the coverall setup. Okay. All right.